So, Ollie, Le Mans just a matter of days away now. But first of all, just want to talk to you about what a great start to the year you've had. First in class in Daytona, the Rolex 24, in the Audi R8, and of course in the LMP car that you'll be driving at Le Mans. First at Sebring and third at Spa. You must be delighted with how it's gone so far.
Yeah, it's been a dream start, I must say. Daytona was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't even sure I was doing it up until about a month before the race. A very similar story with Sebring, and to come away from both with victories was something very special, especially Sebring, because it's probably the last time Audi will be there with the LMP1 car. So to be able to put my name on that trophy and be part of Audi's history is something very special.
Of course, in addition to that, you've got the Blancpain Endurance Series that you're in this year with the R8. But I guess Le Mans clearly is the highlight of the year for you. And to what extent does that dominate your season in terms of the training, the testing that you do, and how you schedule your other commitments?
Like you say, I've got quite a lot going on with the Blancpain, but Le Mans is the focus. I mean, for me, the whole year really does centre around Le Mans in June. So a lot of effort and a lot of my time and energy goes into preparing for that, keeping fit. A lot of test activities in the run-up to Le Mans, and it's a strange feeling because my whole year can hinge on this one race, so there's a lot of pressure at the same time.
Obviously this is your third time at Le Mans, second as factory driver. With everything that you've achieved so far this year, do you kind of now feel that you're an established member of the factory team and that this is kind of what you'll be doing now year in, year out, be going to Le Mans and challenging for honours?
I like to think so, yeah. I mean, I think Audi, because they've got such a depth of talent, every driver there has achieved so much throughout their career. It's very hard to establish yourself, but I think slowly and surely I'm becoming part of that establishment that they have, and I'd like to think that in years to come I'll still be there, still driving in Le Mans. But you never know what's going to happen. Things change year on year, regulations change, manufacturing change their ideas of where they feel the best marketplace is, so there's no guarantees. All I can do is do the best job I can every time I get in the car and keep winning races.
So obviously a big difference for you this year is that you'll be driving the e-tron Quattro as opposed to the Ultra that you drove last year. Now you've had some experience with that at Sebring and Spa. Can you just talk to us about the main differences and how it handles and how it feels to drive?
Yeah, so like you say, last year I drove the Ultra, and this year all three cars will be driving the e-tron Quattro. It's completely different in terms of the philosophy of the car. It's got a KERS hybrid system in the car, which regenerates under braking power, which it then stores in the flywheel system, which gives you a boost as you exit the corner. So it's a boost of extra power. So it's definitely an advantage, but it does involve driving the car slightly different, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, I have to say. But the benefit of doing Spa and Sebring is that I now have that extra knowledge of the car, and that's only going to benefit me in Le Mans.
And do you really feel that extra performance boost that you get? I mean, can you notice that difference quite significantly to when you were driving the Ultra?
I wouldn't say it's a huge boost. It's not like you maybe see in the movies, but it's certainly, as you exit the power, because we have the recovery on the front wheel drive, it means when we go over 120 kilometers an hour, we do get that boost, and you certainly feel the car pick up in speed. And it's a great advantage, especially when trying to overtake traffic, which, as we know, is key in Le Mans. So it is a huge benefit. Over a whole lap, I'm not sure of the exact lap time, but it's probably worth somewhere between sort of 4 to 5 tenths, which is a considerable amount, lap on lap.
You talk about negotiating traffic. I guess that's probably one of the biggest challenges at Le Mans. Can you just talk us through the other challenges that you faced going through, for example, how you wind down after a stint and just the actual process of trying to maintain that concentration during a stint?
I think that's why Le Mans is so special, because it is 24 hours. There's so much going on around you. First of all, you've got the build up to the weekend itself, which takes a lot of energy out of the drivers. Then the start itself, I mean, it's probably the most nerve-wracking moment of the entire weekend. The best bit's getting in the car and actually driving. That's when you get your chance to relax. But like you say, as you get out the car, you've got to try and wind down, because you're back in the car in only a matter of hours. Time's limited, so you've got to try and eat, re-energize, refuel, and relax as well, because it's very important. And it's not always easy, but it can be the difference between winning and losing.
What kind of techniques do you have for kind of winding down? Do you go and sit down in a quiet place, listen to music, try and get some sleep? Or what is it that sort of works for you?
For me, it's just getting out the car, and first thing I'll do is go speak to my engineers, find out how we're getting on, what the strategy is for the next few hours, firstly when they want me back in the car, because it's great to have an idea. That way you can then take yourself away from the pit wall and the pit garage, and I'll quite often go get a massage, and it just allows you to have half hour just to wind down slowly. After that, probably get some food before trying to get a little bit of sleep, especially in the night. Like I say, it's not easy, but you know, it's important. If it's only an hour or two, it does make the difference.
So your co-drivers this year, Luca Di Grassi and Marc Genet. Can you just tell us a bit about them? Because I guess you've driven with them in Spa now, but previously not had much experience with them.
No, we're a very new team again. The great thing is they've got loads of experience. I mean, Marc and Lucas both come from Formula One. Marc's got a vast experience in Le Mans. He drove with Peugeot, one of Audi's main competitors in the past. Lucas will be his first time in Le Mans, so he's got to learn the track. But he's shown already this year that he's very adept at learning the track and the car very quickly. So I think we've got a very strong lineup. But this year is probably going to be one of the toughest years ever. Toyota are coming for the second year. They're going to be stronger and they're going to be more determined than ever. I mean, that's the sort of big battle, Audi v Toyota. But there's also a second battle, and that's the Audi v Audi battle. Within the team itself, there's 3 cars, and our 2 sister cars are extremely strong. I mean, between them they've got numerous Le Mans titles. You've only got to look as far as Tom Christensen and Alan McNish to see the vast experience they have.
So obviously last year the Toyotas failed to make it through the night, and it was effectively, as you say, a battle between the Audis. I take it you expect the Toyota to be stronger this year. You don't expect a repeat of last year.
I think firstly we've got to give Toyota credit for what they did achieve last year. They came on very short notice. They were very, very competitive, but unfortunately reliability let them down. I would expect with a year's more development, a year wiser, I think reliability shouldn't be an issue for them, and I still expect them to be as competitive, if not more. So I think it's going to be a very tough fight.
What would you be happy with this year at Le Mans, given you on the podium last year? Will only victory do this time?
Achieving a podium last year in my first year as part of the factory team was fantastic. But this year, I'd hope to go a little bit better. Certainly, it'd be great to try and fight for the victory and, to stand on top of that podium. But I think most important can be the performance. I'm in the same car as my sister Audis, so we've got every chance to win the race. And the important thing is that, even if we don't achieve that goal, that we're at least there fighting right to the end and in a chance of winning.
Okay, well thanks Ollie, very best of luck.
Thank you very much.